All right, so Tuesday means we have a couple of things to talk about with Union head football coach Antonio Graham coming off a tough loss at Broken Arrow, but we didn't get a chance to catch up with Coach last week after a really impressive win. So you've had kind of an up and down the last couple of weeks. Just what are you looking back at
Yes,
those
sir.
last two games?
Man, growth and sometimes you take growth and even in a loss you take growth as well. I think so. It's not necessarily a step back whenever you lose a game. There could be some growth there as well. So it's like I said, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster for sure to say.
Let's go back to the win a couple of weeks ago. Tremendous offensive
Hmm.
performance. I thought everybody was great. And I didn't get a chance to ask you about this. I'm calling it the pyramid formation, which is kind of that
Hmm.
inverted, or straight I thing almost, or straight T thing you do, but you back the tail back up. It just worked so brilliantly a couple of weeks ago. Was that a late ad? It's something you've done before? Tell me about it.
It's something we've done before, man, and we're putting different guys into those different formation. There's different sets where we have, a couple of defensive guys in it and a couple of running backs in it, and so it's something that we lean on to it. And when we get in that set, yeah, we want to make sure we execute it with an attitude, because you guys are supposed to be our biggest, baddest dudes in this, and so we got to make sure we're able to get it done.
And you did get it done against Norman North. I mean, it was just tremendous. You put Rion Williams back there a little bit. He had some nice runs. How many
Yes, sir.
people have you run through those positions?
I want to at least say almost nine, nine. Yes,
Who
sir.
surprised you?
Those two linebackers, Kane Bradley and Tucker, they've done well. Rion's done well. Shoot, they all have. It's hard to say, Rion's definitely have surprised me very, very. He's a talented young man, and of course, Tay and LJ, they always do. But I just named you almost about nine guys. So Rick, they all have done a good job at it.
They have, and explain why the play is so effective. It's pretty simple.
Yes, sir. It's just inside zone, and your guys to go freaking, to go. We want to get a first down in this, and we want to make sure we make a point, and into the game where we want to, you know, try to show some dominance or some physicality of the game, and it's something that I think is kind of like that push tush that
Right.
Philadelphia does. They take pride in that, and I think that's important with each team. When we get in this formation, I don't care what you do or what you have out there, we're going to get the first down, and that's what
Mhm.
matters.
Yeah, you are basically exerting your will and dominance over a
Yes,
football
sir.
team at that point. All right, now let's go to the Broken Arrow game. 15-10 going to the fourth quarter. Had left some opportunities out there. Had to feel good about it. Going into the fourth, what did you tell your team?
I just told them just one play at a time. We had a turnover right before halftime, and felt like we lost a little bit momentum. But I was like, hey, keep your head up, and just keep fighting. I mean, because we're so freaking close, Rick. We got down there on the 1 inch yard line, didn't score, and or didn't get any points, and that hurted us. And so when you get inside the 5 yard line, you got to be able to execute it in, and that happened twice that game. And so hats off to Broken Arrow, but we just got to come out with it with points in those scenarios.
Yeah, and the scenario now turns to, that was kind of a battle for hopefully that second spot
Hmm.
because it looks like Owasso is going to end up with that first one unless they collapse here at the end. It's still in it because still other games to play. This one against Westmore, that's not a good team. We know that they haven't won a game. Doesn't mean they can't, but they're
Hmm.
coming on senior night. I'm sure you remember your senior night at Union. What was it like? Do you remember the emotions?
Yeah, it could possibly be your last home game in front of some of these fans as well. And one thing I told our kids, yeah, Westmore have not won a game or anything, but they can embarrass you, and you never know. Like some kids take it personal when they pick you for your senior night. I've been that team where they picked us, and even giving day we're able to get beat. We cannot take a step back this week, and I'm one person that don't care about their scores or what they done in the past. I kind of be where your feet are at, and like I told our kids, you can look and see what they done, but this team is very capable of beating you. any given day. And why wouldn't they want to come in and screw up your senior night? So you better come in and take it personal if you don't take it on a short week at that. Again, you know. And so you just got to be careful because you listen to the rat poison out there, it'll get you in trouble.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
sir.
you put it best when you said they can embarrass you. I mean, that's a way
Mhm.
to tell a young man that you better keep your head up and keep what's in front of you in front of you. You mentioned the Thursday. It's going to be 4 Thursdays in a row to close the year. Have you ever been involved with something like that?
I have not. It's pretty interesting, but it was pretty cool because me and my wife did get to go watch a Saturday football game together. Went to go watch Tulsa, and so that's pretty good. But it kind of throws you off a little bit, Rick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie to you if I didn't. You kind of gotta jam pack your schedule a little bit.
Mhm.
Definitely with JV games in that and as well, and you're trying to get off the practice field at a certain time. But yeah, I've never experienced anything of that at all.
And people are going to say, well, it's Thursday to Thursday. It's still a week. Yeah, but then kids have Friday school, which you don't have after a game. It
Hmm.
interrupts the practice schedule because if you
No
start
doubt.
installing one thing, it makes it harder on the weekend when they do have some time off. It does throw everything in a way, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. There's no doubt about it. The biggest thing for us is kind of adjusting our practices. You got to move everything up a day earlier, and then you got to make something like your Tuesday practice. It may be a mixture of Tuesday and Wednesday, the things you do on Wednesdays or whatever, and then let's say next week we play on a Friday, so they're back. It's
Mhm.
like it's like a newborn baby. You can't have you got as soon as you take them off schedule, they're screwed up or whatever. So. I'm kind of liking it so far since this is the fourth one we had, or where it's starting to become the norm.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to
Yes, sir.
stay the norm until this thing is all over with. Now, I haven't
Yes,
seen a
sir.
lot of Westmore, but when you see them, what do they do well?
Man, the biggest thing, they're going to pass the ball. They got a lot of weapons on the outside that they pass the ball around. They're about 75% pass or whatever. So it's going to be a really good test for our secondary. Like I said, that's kind of one of our weaker points on the defense and where the question mark at. And so you better be able to come to work because they're gonna sling the ball on you. And the biggest thing with them is that they do have some great athletes. There's been times where they haven't been consistent. There's been times where they have jumping out on teams a little bit and they relaxed and so they're one of those teams that maybe if you take 7 or 8 plays, Rick, they may be undefeated. Their record may change. I'm not going to say they undefeated, but it's like us. Like you go back to that broken arrow. 3 plays for us, in my opinion, changed that whole game around.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
we're at about 7 plays for being really a really good football team or a really bad football team. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. And so I think they're very talented and they've been through some stuff this year, Rick. Not trying to make excuses for them. Before the season started, their head coach resigned.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, that could have a little bit effect. But I tell you one thing, they got some seniors do that they got some stuff to play for. They're trying to get scholarship. They playing for a lot of pride with their program. I do see that. They have not quit yet. I tell you that.
Yeah, and any team in 6A1 can beat you at any given point. And as
Yes, sir.
Antonio said, you don't want to be embarrassed. And more importantly, you want to get on some kind of a roll toward the end of the year. Then you've got an Edmond Memorial team and a game the week after that's going to be really, really big as well. You're trying to ramp up,
Mhm.
but you got to win games. You want to rest guys, but you have to have them sharp. How do you approach the last couple of games? Just we're going to go full out?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just feel like you can't. With a team that you're dealing with, that's there's not we ain't done nothing perfect. That's impossible. And so my thing is like until I feel good about our execution, and there's some ways where we're still making mistakes in some places. We're going to continue to play and not until those mistakes become lesser. So we're going to go do what we do um and not even think anything of it. I think our guys we're getting better each week, Rick. I still, have a ton of faith in our guys, but we got to continue to play. And I think right now is the most important time because some teams get a little bit more complacent right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they may feel good about where they're at, and then you get towards the playoffs and you do get upset. So I want to keep us on the edge right now and make it sound like, yeah, we got a good chance. Yeah, we're going to make the playoffs or whatever the case may be, but you still got to have an edge to you in the fire. You want to get in and get hot and win the next one.
That's the thing. Get in and get hot. So, what's your
Yes, sir.
message to the senior players this week?
Man, just the biggest thing is just go out, just go out there and play and enjoy every moment. Hopefully they're not taking football for granted, and they having a good experience this year with their parents. But my thing is just enjoy every single moment because once it's gone, it's gone. As soon as you graduate, walk across that stage, it becomes a totally different responsibility in life.
Yeah.
Whether you go on to go play college football or you don't, like as soon as you get done with the game of high school football, the responsibility of your life has changed for sure. And some kids, they have a good responsibility already. But, once you leave those parents' houses, that means it's different. And so I just want them to enjoy it and don't look back and say, I wish I would have.
Yes. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you will. I remember my last game. I'm sure you remember your last game. You will.
Yes, sir.
And someday you'll be walking through your house and your wife will say, "How can you remember that, but not somebody's birthday?"
Yes, sir. Yes,
We've
sir.
been there, right?
Absolutely.
All right. We'll
1000%.
see you out there on Thursday.